Welcome back to the Game of Thrones. Last episode, our character tragically died, of course, in what was called the tragedy of the Stormlands of Storm's End. When he tried to hatch Dragon Egg, we went around the world trying to gather as much dragon knowledge as possible. I missed two sites, which I'll talk about a little bit in a second. But, of course, he tried to hatch the Dragon Egg in his madness and became depressed, and then eventually died. The sadness killed him because he had failed in the one goal his life had. But just like the TV show, it's a good allegory for something that could be so close to greatness and then falls at the last hurdle. So what we've got going on right now is, of course, Lord Paramount Boris and the funeral for our father there, Lord Paramount Monsoon the Eloquent. We're in the middle of that, but we still have another attempt. We have a second dragon egg. Heartfire, before it died, left behind 2 dragon eggs. Of course, 1 dragon egg we lost in the Great Blaze. Now we've still got another one, a priceless artifact. Like we couldn't get another one of these. It'd be incredibly difficult, let's put it that way, to try and get another one. Now we do, of course, have House Valane. How do we do it? Villani, I think it would be, because they're Valyrian, aren't they? Villani, I'm going to go for that. That's the official spelling, or the official pronunciation guide. So we've got Verano, and we have Anessa. She's sort of the head of the house. She's also the one with yet another dragon egg. So there are 2 surviving dragon eggs in the whole of the Game of Thrones world. Bear in mind, Daenerys, very early on in the series, lost her dragon eggs. When she tried to hatch them on the pyre, she failed. Unlike, obviously, the books and the TV show where she succeeded. So we're the last sort of protectors of the dragon eggs. And these are our distant cousins, of course, which we will try and land, try and hatch. Now, one of you said, and this is a really great suggestion, we've got the province of Griffin's Roost. Take Griffin's Roost, rename it to Dragon's Roost, and grant it to our relatives here as in House Valane. I think that makes for a good little bit of a story there, and it does make sense giving our close relatives some land, because if they go to war and kill us, they'll be kinslayers, they're not going to risk doing that. Sort of ensures the peace a little bit. They are, however, Valyrian, so the other people aren't going to like them too much. The issue I've got with that is they might be assassinated quite frequently. So we're going to have to do our utmost to try and keep this family alive, but if we give them a dragon egg, I mean, at that point, they could go and get the dragon intel for themselves. They've also got a high chance of hatching because they're a ruler rather than just a random courtier. So I think that's a good idea. Anyway, I digress. We've got that to look forward to later on. There's been some really great comments as well, by the way, in regards to what the sites were that I missed, as I talked about briefly earlier. So it turns out one of them, and the one you guys might remember, I was searching around for ages. I was like, it's in the north of the Reach somewhere. What we ended up doing was setting a move route going somewhere like this, and then we got to what was going to be Bramsfoot, which turned out is the actual place we should have gone to. That's the Field of Fire. We got to Byford, and we were heading over there, and I was like, no, we need to go to Harrenhal, so we'll stop here and head north instead. So that was going to be the last province. We actually had a move route set there, and then I cancelled it. So it's a real shame I didn't go through with that, because maybe Monsoon would have survived there. Maybe his dragons would have been successfully hatched. But anyway, it doesn't matter too much, because now we are, of course, Boris, a 28-year-old. He is erudite, as one of you pointed out, which means we can, if we want, go and join a more useful society. We could join the Alchemist Guild, which would be kind of fun. We've tried the Citadel, which was kind of very good, actually. It gave us a lot of education, lots of different missions there, and potentially specializations as well. So that seems like the long-term one. I think if you started at like 18, you might want to dive into that. But playing as an older character going into the Citadel would be a bit pointless, because it seems to take years to pay off. We tried the Cult of Skari Wisdom, the dark magic cult, whereby you learn how to control dark magic. The issue is there is no magic in the world right now, because the magic left when the dragons died. So our father joined that and learned some very convincing card tricks. The one where he pulls the tablecloth out and nothing falls off. It was great. That's what I'd be remembered for at this funeral, I'm sure. So why don't we join the Alchemist Guild? Because if nothing else, it gives us access to wildfire. Also, potentially rare elixirs and the rare powers and things like that. But I think magic has to return to the world before we can go along that chain. So we won't worry about that too much. But it does give us, of course, like I said, wildfire. The ability to create fake valuables is also pretty good. So you can create counterfeit gold, silver, gems. And not only give them out as gifts, but also sell them. So it might be a good way to gain a little bit of money on the side as well. Which is the one thing we are genuinely struggling with this campaign. Everything else has gone fine. You know, we've expanded quite well. We've got a lot of claims, got good troops. Money has always been a problem. So we'll try and deal with that this episode. As the feast begins, Lord Lucian Lingrave presents a petition before the court. He says the crimes of the banditry in the Blue Grove are an increasing threat. He is a Stormlander. Very well, I shall have my marshal deal with the problem. He's a big fan of that, so we want to keep the vassals as happy as possible. Bearing in mind, our general vassal score is going to have gone down a lot, because a lot of these vassals only liked our previous character because he gave them their high lordships. We've got Michael Tarth, who doesn't like us. Obviously, he's a Stormlander, Stormlander Faith of 7. But some of the Storm Lords aren't a big fan of us. So let's take a look here. So I assume Morton Butler, he is a Stormlord. He's also quite low down, but luckily he's married to our aunt there, Drizzle. Lady Drizzle. Jesus. Who, it's horrible in hindsight. Who has, you know, had a son with him. So we've got some sort of extended protection there against them going to war, because of non-aggression pacts, that type of thing anyway. Priest Morton has presented a petition remedying for remedy to the court. Oh, okay. Claiming that the temple was forced to pay tax by a sheriff. Oh. It's a misunderstanding, I promise you. I don't want to really give him 10 gold, because like I said, we're trying to deal with our money issues, and right now we're 95 gold in debt. We were minus 69 until I paid for the funeral, as much as I did want to start having minus 69. Thought we might as well get a little bit of the funeral out of the way first. Lord Miles wants help with his stuff, although it's 12.5 gold, and I don't really give a shit about you, Miles of Gaelmont, so he must deal with the problems in his own domain. You're not a Stormlord vassal. Maybe if you convert to religion, I might be convinced. The funeral. The friends and family of the departed, as well as the noble lords of the realm, arrive in the keep, blah, 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 blah. We join in the tales of valor, glory, and honor, which he had none of, by the way, to keep the memory of the dead in the combat's grief's grasp of the body is interred. I don't know what any of that means, but it's okay. I don't understand those words in that order. And so it is done. Lord Paramount Monsoon Durrandon died of severe stress on the 28th 6th moon, age 52. He was a man. I mean, that's true. Oh, he was a man and was unyielding to his devotion. He was a man, and we have nothing else important to say because he was that boring. He wielded a Valyrian steel sword blade, greatly aiding his ability to protect himself. He wielded the Valyrian steel sword Stranger's Mercy. Excellent. Holding a funeral will be removed from him. We gain 40 piety, and we leave. Well, that was another character laid to rest. He was not as impressive. I mean, our original grandfather, Gallad the Kraken Slayer, obviously had an incredible life. He was just, like I said last episode, good at the politics, good at the intrigue, set up our own religion quite powerfully. Beyond that, he was fairly useless. I mean, obviously his whole dark magic tricks weren't very impressive. Now we can go to a tournament, and you know what I think? I think we need to pay off some goddamn debts. This is getting out of hand. Aha, nice. The family focus is paying off a little bit then. So we took that at the end of last episode and obviously picked the have 5 children as well. Just because we're trying to get a genius kid. We just need it right now. We've got... So she's just got genius, so we've got nothing else. Man, I thought we had another trait going for us as well, but I guess we're just going to have to pray. Genius is a 15% inherit chance. I did check the files to see if it is possible. We're just getting unlucky is essentially how... I mean, obviously, we've only had 2 kids, so there's not a huge chance there. But it is still possible to inherit the regular means through the Game of Thrones mod, so I just wanted to make sure nothing had changed. Because we've been really struggling with the whole eugenics aspect of things. Normally, I'm pretty good with that, but not really something you want to say when you're trying to be monetized. It seems that Jenya Chambers, the spy master of Lord Edmund of Byford, has been sent to Byford to investigate rumors of a plot. So we are trying to kill Lord Robert of Griffin's Roost, for the whole reason that I said before, is we want to take Griffin's Roost and we want to give it to House Villani and obviously rename it to Dragon's Roost. I thought that'd be kind of fun. Plus, that's also not in our domain as well. Another suggestion was take one of the towers and give it to them, so give them a sub-holding or something. But I feel like giving them a whole duchy seems, you know, worthwhile. Might be necessary. There's a chance we might be caught on our plot here, but I think we got away with it. Now, unfortunately, we can't even get a maester to help educate our children because we just can't afford it. How much does it cost? We can't go on a foreign tour or anything. Man, this is really bad, huh? Having this little gold kind of sucks. We've just got to kind of hope that the fake valuables definitely try and, you know, keep things going a little bit in terms of the money. My courtier, John Hastings, expressed a desire to get married. What? Not so fast. Let's go for marriage, please. I don't really care. Thank you, John. Who is he? He is some highborn lad. Lord Horace, Lord of 2 different... Where are you from? Okay. The start. It begins. One evening, you were examining your dragon egg and almost saw its emitting heat. Perhaps it's responding to my touch and will soon reveal its secret. Why don't we also go on, now that we have the option to hatch the dragon egg, why don't we could have done this anyway, but I was sort of waiting for that to kick in. Why don't we do what our father could not? Why don't we head around all of the dragon sites, every single dragon site, and get every single bit of dragon knowledge? We don't need to take too many troops. That was ridiculous, the amount of troops we took last time, so let's be very careful with this. So, I've got the list here. Now, I got all but 2 of them, as I said before. One was Bransford. The other one I missed was, Volantis. Volantis we missed. We were going to Old Town when our character died, because I remembered there was another one in Old Town, but then obviously dropped down dead as we were heading over there, which was kind of a shame. So let's start with Dragonstone. We'll go Dragonstone, King's Landing. We'll go Field of Fire, Harrenhal. Then we'll head down to Old Town. Probably be quicker to take a boat, to be honest with you. And then we'll go all the way to Ashai and start over on the other side of the world. Lord Commander of the Night's Watch has been excommunicated. Okay, well, I mean, it was criminal anyway, so I'm pretty sure nobody really cares too much. Alright, so Dragonstone, what have you got for us? Now, last time Dragonstone didn't work for us, did it? It just didn't tick over the event saying, oh, there's dragon lore in them there hills. Didn't actually do anything, but there we go, we've actually got it this time. On Dragonstone, you notice the stone dragons on the walls of the old castle. What if those huge stone beasts could come to life and fill the skies once again? A daughter. Thank God she's not genius. God, I've been pretty annoyed by that. Hannah Durrandon, you will get thrift, and you will be renamed. Help me. What have we not had? I need more sort of, have we had Nimbus? I don't know if we've had Nimbus. Nimbus Durrandon, welcome. As a descendant of the Storm God, of course, you a true-born descendant of the Storm God. You have to have a stormy name. Should really look past the security of my lab. What do you mean, my lab? I mean, we haven't built a lab yet, so I don't know why it's telling us about that. I don't even know if you can build a lab in the Alchemist Guild. I think you can, but I don't entirely remember. It's been a long time since we've done it properly, so we'll have to check that out. Next up, we've got King's Landing. What's wrong with you? Oh, you're missing a nose. Next up, we go to King's Landing, and that should also give us the Dragon Pits. Excellent. And then apparently, Bram's Fort, right next door, was the one that we missed. Neglect our responsibilities for Sleet's sake. What does that mean? Neglect our responsibilities. What responsibilities do we have that we would neglect? I don't really know what the downside to this is, but obviously we're going to do it. There we go. As you ride across the Reach, you come across the legendary Field of Fire. They say this is where the armies of the Reach and the Westlands joined forces to defeat Aegon the Conqueror and were destroyed in a single night as all the Targaryens unleashed all 3 of their dragons. Excellent. So that's what we were after last time. We'll head up to Harrenhal, and then we'll send the boats. Oh, we can't sail down major rivers. Okay. We're going to the Bay of Crabs. We'll put them up there, take them round via the ocean to Old Town, and sort of grab that one too. So that's one of the ones that we missed out on. Then, of course, the Old Town, which I knew about, but we couldn't get there in time, and then Volantis as well, and then the other ones that we also hit last episode. My daughter, Cirrus. Oh, no, my distant relative, Cirrus. Oh, she came out quick. You fucker. Sure, let's just give her a... Let's give her an intrigue education. Call for my court physician. Do we even have a court physician? Oh, shit. Lord Axel Clay died, a Stormlander. Can revert to the Lord Paramount. His wife can take it. She's another Stormlander. She's also 52. Balon Estermont, who's a Stormlander. Absolutely not. Or Harold Buckler. He's another... so revert to the Lord Paramount gives us 5 tyranny. I'm going to give it to his widow, and then if no other Stormlanders turn up, we'll just have to take it back for ourselves. I think 5 tyranny is worth keeping foreign or you know, people of not our religion on their or taking back land that we've gone out of our way to try and get from them in the first place. Michael of Tarth, join me on the council so that you might like me a little bit more. All right, so we've got Harrenhal, Dragonstone, Field of Fire, King's Landing. So I'm going to tick these off as we go. So those ones are all done. Then we've got Field of Fire. Yep, we've done that one. We've done Harrenhal. So we got Summerhall as well, which I actually did forget about. In fact, it would probably be easier to just go Summerhall and then move around to Old Town and send the boats there to meet us there. Probably a better idea. All right, so we've got Summerhall. One of you corrected me that I didn't know why Summerhall had burned down. I thought it was just like partially random. It turns out Aegon V, which is Aerys, so Daenerys' grandfather, so Aerys' father, basically tried hatching the last Targaryen dragon eggs with wildfire, and that's what burnt Summerhall, or whatever the hell it's called, down. It just happened to be on exactly the same night as Rhaegar was born, coincidentally. I don't know whether he did it as like a celebration rather than a birthday cake, just decided to light some dragon eggs on fire, but obviously didn't go well for him, because there we go, and yet Summerhall was the place that the prince loved best, blah blah blah. Rhaegar was an emo, we've been over that. Okay, so let's get down to Old Town and get the very last bit of this one. I don't know why Old Town counts. I guess it's because we're going there to learn from the books. Now, the Citadel is also built out of a fused black stone. The same as what Valyria is built out of. In the books, it specifically talks about, like I've said many times, this weird black stone appears quite frequently in the series. And the Old Town is supposedly built out of the same thing, the Citadel. So maybe the Valyrians built Old Town, but who knows. But that, I assume, like I said, we're just going to go read a book rather than look at the rocks and think how interesting they are. I need more times to raise funds. I'm sorry, we can't afford it. Although we are actually out of debt this time, which is quite nice. And our council is content. That's what that giggling man was before. It's very quiet for me. I'm going to turn up a little bit. Get some of that good old CK2 soundtrack going there. There we go. We actually sent for Maester from the Citadel. Nice. Let's do that immediately. Although I have basically given up on these 2 children because they are... Oh, I'm saying that they're only 4 and 3. We've got time. All right, what we'll do then... We want to appoint a Master at Arms who's a formidable fighter, and very coincidentally, not only did we have an incredibly good, just insanely good Marshal, she's also a formidable fighter. So we're going to have her training children. 22% chance yearly of a child becoming a good fighter. Excellent. Then we also wait for our Maester to turn up and have him educate children as well. There we go. During a stay at the Citadel, a book catches your eye. The cover is richly decorated with dragon imagery, and the title reads Blood and Fire. Decide to take it with you. Sweet. And now we get to go on an adventure to the other side of the world. Maester Ganlos, welcome to court. Let's get you serving court. We're still proselytizing, and we should really be collecting taxes, I think, because things are seriously in a bad situation. We could second replace him with a High Lord, which is probably a better idea in hindsight. What about a Justicia? Have we got anyone slightly better than you? Nope. Although, we only needed one more Holy Side, didn't we? And she's got 22... Oh, that's our wife. Send her a gift. Just try and win her over. Maybe try and sway her a little bit, because she's not a big fan of us, and they will work a little bit better if they like us. So, Storm's End. We've got Weeping Town. The other one was Stone Dance. So this one here, that would give us 3 holy sites, which means all we need to do is get independence. We could maybe wait for a civil war. I don't know how that would work. I imagine you can't reform the religion if you have a temporary title, which is what happens when you become independent. So I'm not entirely sure what happens, as in independence plural, as in the whole round becomes separate independence, not, you know what I meant. To patron... I thought I said to patron boys then. To patron Boris, it's come to my attention you lack a proper office for alchemy. That's because I've got 12 gold, you madman. We'll just make it in this box, huh? And build a laboratory out of nonsense that we find around the castle. How much does it actually cost? 50 gold. Shit. I was being a little bit facetious, but I didn't realize it cost that much. Okay, never mind. I know it's a pitiable state of my daughter, Lady Nimbus. My daughter. You are constantly sick. Thank you, Galos. Although, I'm not going to pay you for that. You are merely doing your job. Like, that is literally why you're here and why you went through years of training. So we'll start with a Shy, because that is the furthest... Oh, shit. We got Summer Hall and we got the Citadel. Sorry, I'm supposed to be ticking them off as we go. On the way back, we'll do the Smoking Sea last, because that's one that's the most likely to kill us. Oh, it's been quite some time since I regularly went out hunting or trained in combat. My body may not be what it used to be. What do you mean, the fate of a warrior? It's not the fate of a warrior. That's my Mr. Wolf. Poor fighter. He's not fat, though, is he? Oh, but we can try and get rid of it. So we're going to become fat no matter what. But we can get rid of it. Or we become a jovial patriarch. Oh, that's kind of cool. Fertility plus 5%. Actually, we could do with that right now. Your kind of carrying attitude might earn you the love of your relatives. Absolutely, let's do that. So he's become a big, fat, jolly man. He's the Santa of the Durrandon family. I think Santa needs to be beatified as a saint in our... Does that say Ibn? Oh, Jabin. I was going to say that's completely the wrong side of the world. I think Santa needs to be a saint of the Storm Faith. You know, he rides the north winds to deliver presents to the children of our realm. I mean, what is more Storm God to do than that? According to your Master at Arms, she wants money. Yeah, I bet she does, don't we all? Right, okay, so let's go over to Ashai. What I do like, incredible attention to detail there, is that the city of Ashai, as you can see, they're built out of black stone. It's covered in shadow, and it's definitely not a graphical glitch. I wonder if they've done that intentionally. No way, that's got to be a graphical glitch, right? Anyway, why am I always so tired? Because we have the fat trait. That might be something to do with it. Maybe you should lay off the burgers a little bit. Storm burgers. Right, let's head over to Ashai. Another... Oh, man, maybe we should build that lab then if they're going to take 10 gold every few months. And now we wait. Legends talk of the Ashai King Spoth, a noble lord exiled to the nearby Manticore Isles with the power of dragon flame and evil magic. He conquered his homeland and destroyed those who cast him out. What an incredible feat. As in, like, he didn't have nice feet. As in, like, it was a good achievement. That's what that means. Hopefully you can find it in your heart to forgive me. Oh. Oh, God. What? I wish Lady Paramount Prazara to like me. I should first and foremost try to apologize for forcing myself upon her. When did that happen? Oh, forced marriage. Okay. I mean, that was arranged by his father. Sure, hopefully you can find it in your heart to forgive me. She's fine. She's okay with it. That's all it takes. Just apologize. That's literally all there is to it. I've recently noticed the pitiable state of my half-sister, Lady Rhaena. Great name. Call for a physician at once. Why... What's going on? Have we got, like, a disease in the capital or something? I mean, one of them had food poisoning, which, to my knowledge, isn't generally an epidemic. That guy has the fanciest armor I've ever seen. No, we're good. I guess people are just generically kind of unhealthy in Storm's End, huh? Okay, so that is Ashai done. Let's go to Old Gis next, which is the first one on the way back. So I want to hit this one. Then go through the Smoking Sea to Volantis. And that is every piece of dragon lore. Sir Jorrance. I'm sorry to hear that, Sir Jorrance, my good friend. Becoming excommunicated. God knows what he did. Perhaps it's time to ask her to spend some time with me. Of course, I will ask her. Welcome. We can finally talk in private. And then say... What do we say? That one gives us plus 15, which is quite good. It's truly an honor to have you here for a while. There we go. 17 points from minus 50. That was a quick turnaround, I'll be honest. Who's this guy? Lord Michael of Tubbery Hall has provided me with proof that someone has been viciously slandering me. Hello. Our marshal. No, I don't want to do it. I'm going to keep it to ourselves because she's a good marshal. She's incredible at educating kids. She's the last of her line. I don't really want to annoy her too much. Alright, here we are. And this should tell us about how Valyria smashed old Giscar at the field. Yeah, there we go. The field was sowed with salt, sulfur, and skulls, and even stained the land is brown. That was very much like the Carthage and Rome style thing, huh? That's essentially what they were big old metaphors for. Okay, and then we go through the Smoking Sea, and most likely die, because it's full of krakens and fire and death. Let them rot. Apparently the sea boils in parts of it, according to the wiki anyway. You've braved the Smoking Sea, where many ships have gone and not gone back. You've set for yourself the fires that ripped old Valyria asunder and vanquished most of their dragons. Maybe I could replicate such intense heat. Your dad said the same thing and then died immediately from the intense heat. Well, he died because his egg melted in the heat. A little too intense. You need to turn it down to like 180 rather than 200. Old Volantis. Do we go to Old Volantis or Volantis or the Great Plaza? Well, we could just take a tour, Mr. Worldwide. Let's take a look. Just go to Old Volantis, because I have a feeling it's probably that one. There we go, nice. Behind the black wall of Old Volantis dwell some of the few remaining nobles of Valyrian blood. You talk and feast with many of them, trying to extract much knowledge and tales of the dragons of the Freehold as you can in an effort to understand how they were bred. Hopefully, it will be useful. And with that, We've got them all. Ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. That's everything. All right, Nimbus, what is it? Sure. I'm going to move over to the... No, we still want a child. But of course, because we're leading troops, our fertility is down. We're done, so we can actually stop leading troops. But again, like I said last episode, I think it'd be good if they forced you to come home. If you went over the halfway the world and just disbanded it and teleport back to court, it does seem a little odd. Anyway, we'll bring him home. Because that was a fun adventure, and I'd like to see him come back in the... There we go. You need yourself a beard. That does not suit you. Let's see what we got. Just a big old beard to cover it up. There we go. That's better. Just make a chin out of hair when you're already missing one. All right. Let's put these boys down. And now, we hopefully play the waiting game and get ourselves a genius son. No pressure. I don't know when this happened, but apparently we control Cape Wrath. Not only that, but Michael of Tudbury Hall is apparently a traitor, so if we could get him to revolt... Damn it. 34%. That was unlucky. I was going to say we could revoke his title. Oh, he's already a traitor. Okay, sweet. Problem solved then. I guess he was doing some big old crime. We inherited Mistwood at some stage, huh? We could start removing vassal by vassal. We could literally restructure the round from the bottom up if we keep doing this. This is awesome. We haven't got auto-stop plots turned on, have we? So we can look for any High Lords in our realm. And maybe revoke or imprison them or something like that. Like you, Connington Tower. Stop that. So the leader of plot, no one will object, and if he rebels, we'd be able to revoke his title from him. In fact, I think because he's under another guy, it wouldn't work, would it? Well, that was two really, really great events that may both solve both problems I wanted to set out and solve this episode. Number one, if that is what I think it is, my wife, Prez Harza, is pregnant. Thank you. Yes, it was. Okay, good. It's only 36 gold, which isn't a lot, but it should pay off that debt that we've basically had over our heads for the past, I mean, in-game, like 20, 30 years now. The first day of jousting in Lord Galler's tourney is complete, with many lesser ridings having been eliminated from the competition. I'm not placing about, I'm not falling for it. We've done that so many times, and we've only ever won once, and that was on Brienne of Bloody Tarth. Don't bother me with such details, we don't really care about too much. We lost one intrigue. We should really stop coming to these, because we've never got anything out of them besides losing gold and losing stats. Probably just give up. Maybe unless we host our own tournament, maybe it gives you a bonus to potentially gaining some stats. I have no idea. After much food, Blackbeard, jousting, and combat, Lord Gallamud Selmy's tournament is finally ended. Okay. Can we repay this debt then? Or do they have to come to us and say, hey, repay your debt? I guess we've just got to wait for them to come to us. We could either build a lab, or we can invest into our economy a little bit. All of which I think would be ideal. So Castle Towns 2, we only need another 30 gold for it, and it would give us a tax income of +2. Seeing as we've got a tax income right now of, what, 6.27? I mean, that's another quarter added on, right? I really hope she's doing well. I agree. Let's hope that she gets a genius child at long last. No, do not become sympathy for the harpy. Traitorous man. What is wrong with you? Does she like us more, though? Nope. She does not give a shit. Well, that's annoying. Okay. Come on. Let's go for this genius son. Ready? We're going to see her any minute now. Thin claim indeed. She's tried to gain... Oh! Lady Lysera Baratheon has managed to get a claim on the Seven Kingdoms of the Iron Throne. I mean, to be fair, she is a Baratheon, so that's fair enough. Theona's released from prison. Nice. Oh, we've got enough money for our castle town too, so that's going to solve some of our more immediate issues there. Excellent, excellent news. Let's get ourselves a new Master at Arms. Oh, that's why we inherited the other place. Because our Master at Arms died. Well, that kind of sucks, because now we're going to struggle to find a Marshal with Formidable Fighter who is that skilled. But this guy's good enough. Excuse me. Excuse me. No, hang on. What the fuck? Hang on. Hale is mastering the art of swordsmanship. Maybe that's why. Okay, try now. What are you doing? I'm like, okay, you can do everything else. Just can't train children. Why? Is it because he's stressed, maybe? I hope not. Bonifer. Genius Bonifer? Shit. Come on. Bonifer. Okay. Well, again, it's only 15% chance for kids. It's not as if we're getting any luckier with this, huh? Curious and Fussy. My god, I'm running out of terrible weather names. And we've got so many big ones we could go for, but these are all garbage children. Gust Durrandon, you are no mighty storm, but you're in fact just a... Oh dear. Naerys the Dragon. Naerys Zobradar, a Mantarian lady. She's drank a glass of wildfire in the hopes of turning herself into a dragon. She's failed. She's the maddest of them all. Woo! What has that done? Of course you're a dragon, my lord. No one could ever doubt that. I'm kind of surprised that after drinking a glass of wildfire, that's all that would happen. Didn't one of the Targaryens die doing that? There was this mad Targaryen king that drank wildfire thinking it would turn him into a dragon, which is what that event's based on. I'm pretty sure they just straight up died. So she got pretty lucky with that. I'm saying it's essentially like, what, napalm? Right, so let's set up a chief general then. Ronald, you'll do. Are you actually capable of training children? Saying that, I should have really checked if he was a formidable fighter first. In fact, we might want to try and hire a formidable fighter. He's okay. I mean, seeing as they've only got level 2 for now anyway, we might as well just take what we can get. And then if they do get up to level 2 fighting, maybe look for someone new then, if that makes sense. So we can marry Voro Villani to our daughter or our sister there, Lady Cirrus of the Stormlands. Welcome. Good. House Villani is guaranteed to live for yet another generation. There's 2 of them. And Anissa Villani still has a dragon egg. She's Wrath. What does that give? Dragon hatching chance minus 25. Are you joking? Oh, for the love of God. Now, one thing we can do is we can make the male Villani a commander, give him a dragon egg, and send him to all the sites that we've just been to. That would give him the dragon lore as well. As long as he's already, you know, got a dragon egg, that's all it takes. My mother, Mistress Heavy Durrandon, has died. You are humbly invited to the funeral. My aunt. Of course I will attend my aunt's funeral. Thank you very much, my cousin Durran of Blackbog. I like that House Durrandon is sort of existed in other places as well. It's kind of cool. I forgot about Blackbog. Yeah, that was from ages ago, huh? Right, While riding through the woods, I came across this peasant wench. Then I remembered an ancient custom called the Lord's Right, where commoners or peasants married, their lord might bed the bride on the first night. Should take my right, gives us Lustful. I would like Lustful, just to try and help out with that. I didn't want to do that, but, you know, I think anything to help out with maybe getting a... Oh, for the love of God, did you see her funeral outcome there? Just to try and get this genius on, I was willing to do it. Mistress Heavy Durrandon died a natural death on the 14th of first moon, 8371 at age 69. Great stuff. She was a woman who was known to have dark moods. Full stop. That's your funeral speech. If anybody said that at my funeral, honestly, just dig me up and throw me into the ditch at that point. It's not worth it. I hope Lady Paramount Hazar is doing well. I will ask her. Is that racist? I don't think so. I think she's fine. And she's now up to 66 opinion. We're doing pretty well, huh? Sleet is not doing well. He is going to actually straight up die. Caught for my court position. It's not going to help. Just throw him into the river as well. Roll him into a ditch. Oh, God, he butchered him. My son. Look at how they massacred my boy. Ill treatment. He might actually just drop down any second now. Well, he's not genius, so I'm not too concerned. Okay, so let's construct laboratory then. We've got the castle town dealt with. Let's work on this next, because this will kind of save us money, because it's going to prevent people from stealing our stuff, right? So we're going to go for this one. Let's acquire some ingredients as well. We'll gather herbs in the hills. Why not? And then we could, of course, attempt to hatch the dragon egg. Is it worth doing now? Because we're not going to get another shot at this. The other dragon egg is with House Villani, so we can't, you know, we can't do that. Secrecy is of great importance, so with this event, we always go for the efficient and accessible office. That gives us the most points. Higher chance of being robbed, but it gives you more research points, essentially. Gives you more knowledge. So that's always the best one to go for. We always want to go for the most expensive thing here. This is going to cost a small fortune, but it will obviously give us some other stuff as well. Okay. I don't know if we need gold for it, though. 2 herbal ingredients. We must only ever buy the most expensive and durable glass. Now, I'm hoping, essentially, the way this event works is to get the best lab of all. Some ingredients in your treasury have to rot. So because we've got ingredients before that event is fired, there is a chance that we can get it. And if we get that, that's the only way, like I said, to get the most highest end state-of-the-art lab. So fingers crossed that we will get that hopefully soon. Fingers crossed. Whenever you're ready. So Osford discovered my plot and has informed Lord Stefan Gaunt. They better not interrupt my schemes. Come on. Oh, Steel died. Oh, Steel? Sleet died. We got impressive laboratory. We didn't even get a state-of-the-art one or like a very impressive lab or anything. That's a little boring. A little bit of a waste of gold then, all things considered. But that's okay. My lord, I write on behalf of the bank to express consternation at the actions of your bannerman Lord Lucian Lygrave. Let's send an envoy. Let's placate this envoy from the... Was it Bank of Bravos, was it? The Southsword Infantry threatening us, basically. A debt collector. Okay, that could be a problem, especially as we owe them debts as well, which I've just remembered. That was a bit dumb. Okay, so... In terms of gold, we're actually not doing too terribly now, huh? 6.79. Should we not have more than that? Okay, my mistake. I think that was to do with the fact that it was probably the cumulative gain from both castle towns rather than the bonus. It doesn't matter too much anyway. Look, it's going to give us more taxes either way. And honestly, we're kind of desperate for it. I'm almost tempted to go for business, folks, and just say, fuck the family at this stage. I mean, he's conscientious and try and fight. Oh, shit, we do actually need to get a new Master at Arms then. Okay, it's not all bad. Hang on. Things might be okay here. Let's go ahead and see if anybody wants to join our court who is a formidable fighter. There's no one. Okay, good. So he can't really train our children anymore. It's going to have a low chance. 7.58% yearly, and I think that includes all of our children, so that's also Gust as well. Shit. Okay, what do we do then? To employ a new courtier who's potentially a Master at Arms? Let's try it. Let's go for a... or not. Drownman, Debutant. Treasurer, Justicia, Spymaster. I don't want to employ any of these. Can I not? Hey, could we just not, though? Oh, for fuck's sake. I suppose we'll go for a Lord Treasurer. welcome, in the hopes that he's a good vassal to give some land to, and he's actually pretty good there. Shrewd, brave, temperate, whatever. How unfortunate. Don't bother me with such details. I don't really care about that too much. Your Aunt Lady Fogg has been mourning the loss of her late husband for over a year now, still reluctant to get remarried. Stop this nonsense, girl. Wow. Shouted at his slightly older aunt there. She's only a year older than that's really odd. Perhaps I'll have to take drastic action. She's not happy about that. She just misses poor Mark. Classic Mark. And they have, what's House Durrandon looking like right now? 13 living members. They actually had 2 children of House Durrandon too. It's pretty impressive. Sebastian Grandison and Jasper Penrose were next to joust in the list after many tilts and broken lances. Jasper was eventually unhorsed. Great. Good news. We should have put a bet on him, huh? Absolutely not. I don't know how the hell we're going to deal with this gold problem. It's just constant. It's just absolutely constant. Should we do it? I mean, it can't get better than this, surely. It can't get better than this. We've got all the dragon knowledge. I mean, short of converting religion, which obviously we're not going to do. Short of changing culture, which is impossible in the Game of Thrones mod. Especially getting to Valyrian, that's especially hard. I don't see how else we can do this. There might be a book or something, but obviously trying to get that, it's going to be very difficult. I mean, we can look for a book. But can we just type in book? Hang on, let's check like the Citadel. Maybe like the leader of the Citadel in Old Town. What have you got? Blood and Fire. Dragon hatching chance plus 300%. Holy shit, there it is. I might want to steal that. What else have we got? Fires of the Freehold would also be good. Oh man, okay, we need to steal Blood and Fire. We're going to break into the Citadel and steal that book that we saw last time. So definitely Blood and Fire. He's actually got it equipped, so it's going to be a little difficult, or he's actively studying that one. Who will accompany us on our Heist of the Citadel? We've got Sir Ronnet, my Marshal, who's got 17 Marshal, or we've got Arena, a genius woman who is lustful as well, which might have its own benefits. So for those of you who haven't seen this before, and I'll assume there are some new watchers who have not seen the theft mod, or whatever you want to call it, the artifact acquisition only, I believe the mod's actually called. It's based on your stats, and it's based on the stats of the person you take with you. So we've got quite low Marshal, which is why I'm thinking we take our Marshal to round things out a little bit, or you want to play to your own strengths. So you've got 15 Diplomacy, she's got... I mean, Diplomacy, Intrigue, Stewardship all tend to go hand in hand. Obviously, Marshal is just basically batter the way through the Citadel and try and steal it. I think the Marshal... Oh, God, it's kind of difficult to decide. He's gregarious and ambitious, but she's genius. So I'm going to take... Also, she's erudite, so she knows what we're... Or scholar, she knows what we're looking for. I'm going to take Arena, our spy master. She seems like she might be more useful for breaking and entering and trying to locate this rare book. You arrived at Archmaster Morton of the Citadel's capital. It's heavily guarded. So we're in the Citadel itself. There's a group of guards at the main door and a servant entrance at the back. We are not looking good. 60% chance of succeeding just forcing our way through the doors. What can the guards be like of the Citadel? Let's be honest. I wish to maintain a friendship. Oh, God, we've already failed. Oh, shit. Run away? 20% chance we're imprisoned by the Archmaester of the Citadel. 30% chance of successfully escaping with wounded. 50% chance of escaping. So that's 80% chance of escaping. Beg for forgiveness. 16% chance we're imprisoned. 25% chance of escaping and losing 500 prestige. 59% chance of successful escape. So that's slightly lower. Actually, it's not, though, is it? No, it's not. That's 80%. That one is very slightly higher. Or we can fight our way out. Oh, man, they're all kind of decent. We got it. Okay. I thought I'd go with the top one, because it seems like being in prison was a horrible idea, and the rest, one of them even risked us dying there. Okay, so we were wounded on the escape from the Citadel, but we know it exists. We aren't going to get another dragon egg in a hurry, as I've said many, many times. So I think we need to start planning the grand heist of the Citadel. If we can get a copy of Blood and Fire, and if we can get a copy of the Fires of the Freehold, how would we do that? Could we buy a copy? Could we join the Citadel? Could we... I don't know. What if we join the Maesters? Could we get books from them, perhaps? Would it make it easier to steal from them, like San Martali did? I have no idea. I have no idea. Let's start coming up with a plan. We're gonna plan the grand heist in the comment section and see if we can't get these books and give it as much chance as possible to hatching this goddamn dragon, because this is I think this is too important to just try willy-nilly like we did with our last character. We can't afford to lose this guy as well, because we don't have any good heirs yet, and I really don't want to waste, like I said, the final dragon egg of House Durrandon. Thank you for watching. Let's give a shout out to the insane top tier level patrons who made this series and the channel possible in the first place. A big shout out to Alpha Scuff, Asuna Kirito, Atmosis, Average Gamer 419, Baniel, Sidini, Conspired Seed, Crazy Pat, Crosis, Eric B, Escape, Facunda Vasquez, Harik, Haydog, Jimbo, Josh Landine Tesla, Justin Wallace, Caden Carter, Michael Mullen, Necrofilm, Pelvis Presley, Sir Thor the Swede, Tom Terror 18, Vacuous Backers, and Sazzy7011 for the support these NT levels on Patreon. Thank you very much. I think Patreon houses were supposed to be in this episode, but I didn't actually notice any. Shit, don't tell me I loaded the wrong save game. Shit. That's like incredibly annoying because that takes a... It's not ideal, huh? Okay. I will get that set for next time and I'll make sure I only have the one save game. Unbelievable. Jesus shit. Okay, thank you. But I will make sure that those houses are in for next time. Unbelievable. So annoyed by that. Thank you as well to Asro, Adam Person, Andrew Wilson, Betmas Max, Tadini, Chris, David Van Diepen, Don, Donconi 2 and 7, Fraser Brennan, Gabriel Faulkner, Gabriel Van Ders, Gaz, GDWK Run, Genji Zerka, Gray, Haji Damar, Hancock, Harry McGowan, Icy the Great, Israel, Jay Lara, James Barnes, Ewan DeVries, John Holiday, Jordan Campbell, Joseph Beard, Justin Plot, Nathan Flores, Llewellyn Thomas, Matthew, Nathaniel Lindbergh, Nick, Noah Gallimore, Pan Samu, Panther Pearl, Smirtworm, The Insane Pickle, Will Wade, Wolfie, and Zico. Thank you all for your support.